So I've been having like dreams lately, right? And not like recurring dreams, just random dreams. I've been remembering my dreams more, and they've been bonkers, like absolutely we're like random, like weird
Just
stuff. Not like oh, like because it used to be. I might like previously in Anthony's life, I'd be like, oh, I know why I'm dreaming this. I'm insecure about this thing, or like like something's going on here, and I'm feeling like oh, there's a change brewing, or what, like subconscious crap. You can kind of figure it out. Last night, the thing I remember, this is what I remember from my dream. Okay, it was just me and this woman. It's a random woman. It's like a like Karen-esque woman, right? And I go, and this is exactly what I say and what she says. Okay, I go, "Are you Mike Tyson's wife?" And she says, "I don't know." And I say, "That's the most Mike Tyson's wife bullshit I've ever heard in my life." And then I woke up. I was like,
why?
why did I dream that? Like, what? Why did I dream that? It makes no sense. I didn't see anything about Mike Tyson. I don't even know if he's married. I have no idea. I don't know Mike Tyson's life at all. Don't know what that dream was. I don't know why my brain was like, yeah, this is it. Like, what? I don't
Mike Tyson gets shown this clip from the podcast, and then he's just like, "How does he know about my wife? Like, how does he know about her?"
thought that we all got to learn about your Mike Tyson impression. It's just spot on. It's not even an impression. It's just Steven is Mike Tyson. We're all Mike Tyson a little bit.
That's the thing, Anthony. Is I've always been Mike Tyson. I've never really not been Mike Tyson.
Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
Every week, Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues and obstacles that life throws our way. I say overcome, what I mean is endure, Stephen. We gotta suffer through the lives.
Imagine like a paladin knelt over with his sword in the ground while these evil winds are just blowing and
I'm
he's
just a
holding
bard in
on,
the background, just playing a song and not paying attention to the fact that arrows
putting protective shields with his bard magic.
over and over. No, it's been a life, Stephen. It's been a life for us. But you know what? This is our first episode of this year. We've had some ins and outs, some tumultuous, some ups and downs. Peaks and valleys, if you will, just like everyone else in the world. So the world is a roller coaster, just like Billy Corgan said. You know those famous, yeah, that famous song, "The World is a Roller Coaster." But Stephen, it's our first episode back for the year. So first of all, welcome to all of you. If it's your first episode with us, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the colony. Please hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. It helps us out, and also comment something below for the algorithm. So the evil internet AI gods will favor us a little. Stephen, what are you excited about this year?
I'm excited to hopefully, I'm going to tie this into a little bit of a resolution, but I'm excited to hopefully finish the story
I thought you were just
of.
gonna stop there. I was like, I hope you finish at least once this year, Stephen. You're out.
Ooh,
We're talking about sex
oh my
stuff, but
God, I'm finishing over here. But I am excited to finish the story of Deathless this
heck
year.
yeah, me too, dude. So speaking of that, you know what? Hit us with that. We do this every year. You can go back, you can check it out. Steven says that
Every episode on
like every year we do the New Year resolution song, Steven. Will you hit me with it? That New Year's resolution song?
you're laying by the fire. The snow is blooming outside. Pa, pa, pa. But down here in Florida, we keep it warm. We keep it. So you think to yourself, I better resolve some things in my life. I gotta fucking change for everyone. So I'm gonna fucking change for everyone. It's New Year's fucking revolution time.
Yes. Resolution time. So welcome.
Resolution, revolution.
Steven, the resolution revolution. I'm here for it, and I love it. No, okay. So if you really are just joining us for the first time, that's the first time I heard that song, and it won't be the last. I'm gonna
It
edit
won't be
this, and then I'm gonna put that on Spotify. I want to make the money without
the New Year's resolution revolution. It's a dance craze.
it writes itself, or you just wrote it, and I'm gonna profit from it. Let's do this. Like I'm gonna be Barry Gordy, and you're on Michael Jackson. Let's do like that's it. Like this is what we're doing in our lives now.
Anthony, don't take all my money.
Okay, so Steven, let's talk about a little bit about what the heck we're going to do this year. So, obviously, we've been working really hard. We're trying to get Deathless done. Like you just said, we'd like to get it finished once and for all of the issues this year. Do you think we can do it?
I think we can. The only thing that I'm concerned about is our other project might do really well on this situation, and we might have to pull to do 10 pages of another story for that. But I think I'll just have to grind and try to just be better all around and just pump stuff out. I think our entire process can just go faster this year if we really want it to. As long as I can get stuff accomplished, then I think we can probably even do two and one or two of those. So
I absolutely think
yeah.
so. I definitely think we can do that. So, okay, so let's say our resolution as a team is to definitely finish Deathless, right? So we're
Mhm.
going to do issues 4 and 5
Yeah,
of.
there would be two more issues. Just so everyone's clear, it's not like I only have one issue left. The reason why this resolution revolution seems crazy but awesome but and doable is that it's two entire issues in 1 year.
Yeah, and we've
Um,
been and it's we're just two people living lives. We're doing our best. And Stephen, we're parents and we have spouses to take care of and spend time with, and we want to, make sure we're, you want to give the attention to various relationships, so it's
mhm.
hard when you have so many freaking fires burning, so many pots on the stovetop, so to speak, and it's all kind of bubbles over throughout the year, and you have to pay attention, and sometimes you have to let certain things simmer while you focus on other things, so, and that's what kind of what we're talking about here, or like how we get to the point where we can only do one issue a year usually, because we have so much stuff going on between like work and family, and just like making sure we maintain our lives in a comfortable way that benefits everyone,
Mhm.
But this year we're getting a little ambitious, right? So
Yeah.
we're going for two.
Kids are a little older. It's a little easier to dance around certain responsibilities during the day. So, yeah. My hope too is that I can get ahead enough at work to where I can talk to my boss and taking a day off, like
Yeah.
just working 4 days a week instead of five. I feel like I am at that place now where I could supplement that loss of income
Yeah.
and do more, and then eventually take more and more days until those days are entirely full of art. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like that,
Oh,
I feel
absolutely.
like I am at that point and I just
So,
need to pull the proverbial non-offensive trigger on that, you know?
yeah, no, I 100% know what you're talking about. It's scary as heck, dude. Like I recently had to kind of jump off that cliff and pull that trigger, where I was like, I was working at Michael's, I was working retail for the last forever years, and it was just kind of killing my soul to the extent that like once I got home, I'd spend time with my son, I'd do all that stuff, and then I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want, I didn't have it in me to like write as, and I'd have to, it was a struggle to get stuff done. And then now I'm at the point where I'm I'm home, and my son Atlas is going to Taekwondo, and he's doing this fun stuff after school. So I have like extra time. I have so much extra time. And so like thankfully I've been able to use it to do any, like everything that I've ever wanted, So like now
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this year because I'm like, we're going to get these books done. I definitely believe we can get them done. I also plan on publishing my first novel this year,
That's awesome.
because I've already written it. Steven, it's crazy that I haven't put it out yet. So like I've already written it. And I've done a couple of rewrites. I just want to edit it and like punch up a few things, and I'm going to get it the heck out into the world, because why wouldn't I? What am I waiting on?
Why not? You
So
know,
yeah.
like put it on Amazon. Anyone that decides to buy it on, Kindle or whatever. Like, I mean, it's just passive income, you
Yeah.
know?
And it's just fun, and it would make me feel better to just get it out there. But dude, I think we can do it. I think like especially with the bloodlust stuff, even if that like it comes up and we
That's
end.
my only thing because we were wondering when he was going to contact us, and he did today on his own accord. I didn't even message him yet. I was
Oh,
going to wait till after the new year, and then I was going to hit him up and just see how everything was going.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if that ends up doing really well, then I'm sure he's going to want another order. But like, I know he was talking about potentially doing full issues, but I really think it's smarter just to do 11-page ones and then
I
do
Yeah.
fill the book. You're selling the cover, right? And then I'm wondering, like, honestly, like he uses the interior, but maybe we could repurpose the different 10-page, 11-page arcs we do and just combine them into like a graphic novel and like put like that on Kickstarter at some point too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured we'd do that if, like, if he eventually
Hmm.
or he didn't want to continue to do it.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I don't know what his situation is, but that's
Or
why.
what he wants of it. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but
But dude, I think we can do it. I think we can definitely meet these resolutions. But outside of comics, you have any like Steven resolutions?
yeah, I think I'm already not horrible at it, but I think I want to completely ixnay all fast food for my life this year.
All of it. No cheat
Ma-
days. No.
I think the only thing I will exclude from that is possibly like a cheat day for Taco Bell because
There
Tina
you go.
loves Taco Bell so
I was
much.
gonna say that's. I was literally thinking Taco Bell. I was like, you're not gonna like every once in a while like stop by get some tacos.
And
Uh,
Taco Bell, you can still, you can eat protein heavy stuff and not really, just hit a cantina bowl and
yeah. No, dude, that totally makes sense. Dude, I'm going to. First of all, I'm gonna exercise more. Like I started exercising again last year, but I was like going through some stuff, and then like everything started just getting really good. But I was also really busy. Like these last few months, like
moving always sucks. It like saps all the energy out of you for like
really
weeks.
does. But I was like, I moved, went to New Jersey, got engaged, had a Christmas.
Saw Coheed.
All Coheed, like literally, like it was just like one thing after another, and also they're like dealing with sickness and all that stuff. But like it's everything has been coming up Millhouse. I can't complain. Like 2024 was a really good year for me. Like the last 6 months have been awesome, like just fantastic. So now it's like 2025. Here I am, Rocky like a hurricane. I'm gonna do my best to keep it moving because I'm not gonna like turn around and be like, oh, something bad must be coming. Like, I'm just like thankful. I'm trying really hard to just like that's my plan. Rule the world. I'm just gonna look forward. We're gonna finish our comic book. We're gonna do what we can with Bloodlust. Hopefully, something great comes of it. And if it doesn't, we're gonna make something great come of it. That's how I'm looking at it. And but yeah, I want to exercise more. I want to like do healthy things. But mostly I want to continue. I just want to make sure that I don't let myself stagnate. Like when things start going well, kind of like you ever like when you like exercise and you're like, oh yeah, I'm starting to see results. So you exercise less because you're like I did it. I'm amazing. You know what I mean? Like or like it's anything like that where you're like, oh yeah, yeah, oh I feel good because I did this. I
You
got all
switch from being the ant and then you become the grasshopper for a
yes,
little bit because you're like, oh,
yes.
I can lounge. I'm so good at what I've done.
100%, dude. And that's I don't want that. I just want to make sure that like I'm being myself, I'm being thankful, and I'm forgiving myself when I don't meet my goals and all of that. But I want to keep moving forward. I want to keep trying. I'm not going to get discouraged. That's a big one for me next year. Is like I'm going to try to not like define my success by like the people who watch or don't watch or read or don't show up like because we knew this. Like going into this podcast, we were like, we just want to make comics. If people read it, that'd be great. If people watch this, that'd be great. But like the first, what, 100 episodes of our show, we got like 20 to 50 views per episode for a while. We were like, all right, 50 views. And then like we've waxed and waned and like it's been interesting to see how that's happened. But like I sometimes I'll let that get to me. Next year, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to just try to make a good show, try to make a good comic, and try to be a good person and be a good friend and be a good, fiance and a good father and just move forward. I think that's the best thing to do.
Just
So that's what I'm going
love the people that do come and support every week because that really is what
to do.
matters. That amount of love that we just get dumped on us by the people that do care for us and do care for our projects.
Exactly. People like Daly, people like Amelia, people people like Levi, people like
Tricks.
Fowler,
We got
people
Tricks. We got
people like
Fowler. We got
we are so thankful for all of you, and I hope you have the happiest New Year's Eve. I hope this year is so much better for you than last year. And I know it sucks. Last year, like it was so funny for me because I know a lot of people like we've all been going through a lot, the previous years, and then last year with like all of the nonsense political stuff and just upheaval on social media and stuff. Like I know a lot of people were going through some traumatic times, or just like frustrating times. I was not like I was like I'm in my own bubble right now and I've been in my
mhm.
bubble for like 6 months. I've been in this relationship and like super happy and it's just been wonderful and I can't say how thankful I am like for it but I want to make sure that like we still focus on our friends and our people and our colony. And like everyone knows that, like, yes, sometimes Steve and I are absent from social media, but we're still here for you. So you can comment below and like make sure you keep us up to date with your cool projects and the things that you want to share with us. Because we want to read your books and we want to, celebrate your stuff, just like we hope you celebrate our stuff. But dude, as far as the plan for Deathless, I think we should launch the next Kickstarter in March.
Yeah, March 4th, March to Your Dreams. I'm sure there'll be a con around that time that we can,
Yeah. Yeah. So, with the Kickstarter money, I think we should get all of the prints that we talked about getting and then also get a couple of conventions and just like do this freaking thing this year. When should we launch? When should we plan to launch book five?
So I guess what would make most sense is to launch book 4 in March and then launch book 5 probably in like August, right? August or September.
That makes
And
sense.
then end of the year it's done. Like that I think that should be the goal. Well,
Dude, it's so
and
exciting.
then dude we can and then once it's done we can like that book 5 we can actually have a graphic
Graphic
novel
novel.
tier, which is so cool.
I'm so excited to have the collective graphic novel of Deathless. And like we need to design like a cool cover for it and everything. Oh, I'm so
And I
excited.
think for that last issue, we should do like a holofoil like collection and
Yes.
do like each
Yeah,
issue has one of the characters on
that'd be
it,
cool.
and then
I'm so
that'd be
so
pretty
excited.
sick.
I did think so I thought of ways to punch up issue four a little bit, which isn't like gonna change a lot of the writing, so it's not gonna be too bad, but it's gonna help you a little, but also make it more visually fun and also add some like cameo opportunities in there. So like
Hmm.
that's I have those ideas. I'm gonna do that next week.
It's too bad we can't just release like a potential cameo survey just so I can like
Oh,
format those.
I
I
know.
need to I like honestly the biggest pitfall for issue 3 was I could have squeezed cameos in to panels, but I went the harder route and put cameos into places that went across multiple pages. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like so that like if like I should have had my own foresight for the cultist pages and just drawn dummy
Hey,
characters for
hey.
the majority of those pages. But
Nah, it's okay.
it's all right.
It worked out, and I think it looks great, dude. I love this book. It's so cool, and it's
Did you
like,
see Dr. Murphy on the ground?
Mhm.
Dude,
Uh,
the page after where he like gets all the bad things happen when
yeah,
he's like throwing it.
yeah.
I actually drew like this poor dog looking up at its owner, like oh my god, what happened to you?
That's a fun segment of the book. I can't wait for everyone to read that.
Mhm.
It's gonna be great. But dude, I'm so excited for this year and to do all this stuff. I did. Oh, before we go, Steven, before I want to do a quick monster. I want to do a monster chat
Ooh.
segment because I've been thinking about something lately, and I need you to hit me with the sweet, sweet.
Grab your pencils and your paper, everybody. I'm not gonna sing a long song this time, cause you already got revolution, and that shit was on fire. So grab your pencils and your paper for the monster test.
Monster test. So every once in a while, my friend Steve and I get together and we talk about monsters. We talk about ghouls and goblins and ghosts and things that go bump in the night. We also talk about awkward, interesting supernatural phenomena
Like
and
the milkman, for
like the
example.
milkman for yeah, Steven the freaking milkman. Okay, okay.
Milkman, a bottle of your least expired milk, please.
But this time, Steven, this time I want to talk about telepathy and telepaths. Okay?
Ooh.
Because there's a podcast out that's been getting very popular. It's gained a lot of attention from the people on the internet. It's called the telepathy tapes, and it's all about people who are nonverbal autistic people who have a tendency to have these seemingly telepathic abilities, right? I don't want to talk about them. I want to talk about telepathy as a whole and telepathy in like day-to-day life. So first of all, how do you think, like, what do you think of when you think of telepathy?
Well, I think of like professor like what do I think of the actual gift of telepathy, what it would look like and what it would be?
Yeah. How's it?
I would imagine very similar to like oh, I guess Professor X would be a bad example because honestly, that form of telepathy would be like being able to read people's minds and like hearing people's thoughts and
Right.
things like that. I feel like in our society, telepaths are typically people that seemingly predict futures and seeming like have like a an understanding that other people around them don't seem to possess. So I guess that's the telepathy we'll probably be talking about. So I'm gonna say that like basically like nearsighted like futures like seeing event like they can see events that will be coming up that most times don't end up happening. Things like that.
Yeah. So So this stuff is so fascinating, Stephen, because there are instances in which people claim to be able to like recognize numbers or like predict cards as they're being pulled, or that sort of thing. And generally speaking, this sort of thing has been like debunked throughout decades. Like there is always someone like the Amazing Randy or various people who are just like, okay, well, I'll give you money if you can prove this, and it's always disproven in actual tests over time. However, there have been many interesting like revelations, or when it comes to like sort of secretive government facilities doing tests on people with these sort of abilities where they're like, hey, look, this is, as the Mythbusters would say, it's plausible. Like they've discovered that there are people who can predict with relative accuracy a significant amount of times, where it's like, oh wait, that's odd, like maybe they have ways, maybe there is some weird cold reading math to it that we don't know yet, but it's interesting, right? So I'm gonna ask you, have you ever felt telepathy or telekinesis or anything like that? Have you ever felt like you had any sort of weird ability?
I know we all feel like we have this, but sometimes like it's
Say it.
so good.
Yeah, say it.
My Spider-Man reflexes sometimes are out of this fucking world. Like
Yeah,
it like makes no sense. Like
yeah,
I am one thing I am is I am clumsy, but I'm reflexive. Like
yeah.
I can respond. Like I trip so much that my body has almost developed its own ability to
I
not
knew you were going to
die.
say this because I was going to say, like, because one of the best, I mean, of course, we all have that odd sense of like knowing we're being watched,
Hmm.
which is very strange. And we can't,
I
you
hate that feeling.
hate
Ugh.
that feeling, but like we all kind of like, ooh, this is odd. And we know what that means, it's like we know what that means. And like, I don't know how often or if that's ever been tested, but it's odd and we all recognize it. So like, that's a form of telepathy. But knew you were going to say this because we're both dads and we both have this innate dad reflex, like this dad response. And like, I know I've saved my son multiple times from various things. And like, oh my God, Steve, I think I told this story in the podcast once, but I'll never forget. There was a time where I was at the park with Atlas and I'm playing with him, and I literally turned around, did a 180, and I caught a child upside down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, I'll never forget this because I was just like, I mean, of course, because it's insane, dude. It was insane. But so I'm okay. Those climbing. What do you even call that? It's like it's like a wall with various
They're like the
holes.
plastic rocks and stuff that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
climb
but
on.
like instead of the rocks, it's just like a big wall where it's like a rock wall, but it's
It's
holes.
got like the colored like holes and like things they
Yes.
can grab onto.
Yeah. So like Atlas is on that, and I'm like, he's only like one hole up. You know what I mean? Because he's like small, but he's big enough to be like, I can do it by myself, like one of those. So I'm like kind of watching him, just like, all right, you're adorable, and he's just standing there like having fun back and forth, and I hear a like nearly imperceptible like just like a sound that wasn't right. Like you know what I mean? Like when you
Like
hear like
something's happening
something's
around
happening
my
behind you. And
immediate.
it was just one of those things where I was like, and dude, I don't it was amazing. It's freaking magic. I wish I could see this on camera. And I wish there was some way to like replay this moment because dude, I turned around and a child was head over like heels over head, like just completely upside down
About
and
to skull bash the ground.
about to skull bash the ground because what they had done is those the caged ladder kind of thing, like it's almost like upside down inverted monkey bars that go down where you're supposed to like climb up and now you're on the slide but it goes down like this and back up like this. He fell from the top of it and ended up upside down, so I caught his legs like this.
Oh
And I
my
was just
God.
I'm sitting there holding this child and I was like awkwardly did this and just kind of like and flipped him.
Corrected him.
Yeah,
Was he
and
thankful? Was the child
yeah, well,
thankful?
he was like, and just ran away because he was little, like a little baby.
Aw,
Where are your people? Because what just happened? And like,
you almost had a bad time.
you almost had the worst time, you know? Dude, but I'll never forget that. But I've had a lot of things like that. And it's really interesting when you experience something like that and you're like, I can explain that. I can't explain that situation. And like, what if, there's a way to exercise that? Like, what if there's a way to manipulate that or like, kind of create that response, and know that it's going to happen instead of just, being reactionary? What if it is
Like, it makes you wonder though, like, because like I think like what some of those things are is like what you're kind of saying with like mathematical reason. Like, I think what happens is we as people don't appreciate the things that our brain is doing in the background. So like more than likely like subconsciously or like your brain had already like 360'd the park multiple times without you probably couldn't vocalize every person that was there, but your brain
your
could
brain?
access that
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
And like you had basically completely mapped out the whole surrounding area and
And
your
I knew,
brain associated that sound with falling and your
knowing
brain
there was
also
some child there like that. Yeah.
and knowing that the sound was this distance and it basically your brain used your muscle suit to grab something because it that's like that's more than likely what that kind of stuff is, right? It's probably just we don't realize how aware we actually are of our
100%.
surroundings, you
But
know.
like, isn't it interesting that like that is our that's the thing that our body chooses to do. That's our reactive active or action. Like that's what my body jumped. My body leapt to catch the child.
Yeah, your body knew exactly what it had to do in that moment somehow before you knew what you had
Before
to
I knew
do.
it. Yeah, I was like unconsciously extending my arms to catch a child I didn't know was falling. Like
Mhm.
that's so bizarre. But I've experienced things like that, and I know you have too. And I know other people also experience various levels of things that they probably feel silly talking about. I know that because I do it. I do it all the
Mhm.
time, and I posted about it on social media because it makes me laugh. Because Stephen, every day, I'm in the car. I make people turn like this, and Stephen, I'm really good at it.
My power of suggestion is second to none when I'm in the car.
100%. It's so funny because I remember I wrote something recently on social media where I was like, I'd like to formally apologize to all the people who I accidentally take a left because I was too busy and I had to go
Bro,
for.
there are times where I've accidentally taken lefts or rights and I'm so good and it makes me wonder if someone used that power on me.
That's what I'm
Like,
thinking.
why am I turning here? Ah!
Oh, I took the wrong turn. No, I did that because I need to go
I
forward.
needed to go,
You were
buddy.
going slightly too slow, and I'm sorry. I should have gone around you, but instead I used my power of suggestion. But like, dude, and I know other people will relate to this because we're all magic. But you ever like make the light turn and you're like, okay, I understand. Yeah, I was like, and like, there are timers, there are sensors, all sorts of things, just similar to what you said about the child and your brain being aware of these things. Like maybe it's like a circumstantial awareness, where you're just like, listen, I understand that these cars were parked in such a way or like waiting for so long that by the time I got there, I knew to do this and it would be about my time. However, that math checks out, baby. I've done it so many times where I'm just like, I am good at this, and it's really funny to have that happen. But actively, like if I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go and switch a light off with my brain. I can't do that. I want to do that. That's different though. That's telekinesis, like completely
I've
different.
literally laid in my bed so many to this day I still like will randomly try to use the force or telekinesis. Like
Yeah,
just randomly like maybe if I just believe in it enough, with the
yeah,
faith of a mustard seed I can move a mountain. Let's believe
100%.
in like the ability to do
Yeah,
this and do
yeah,
it.
dude. And it's interesting though because there have been times that we've all experienced the level of telepathy as far as like prediction, where like, okay, I like we're playing cards and you're like, I need this card. And yes, it's just like math. And it's just a matter of like chance, it's
Probability, yeah.
probability. But it's just like, okay, I'm gonna maverick this. I'm gonna make this card an ace. And you pull it up and it's like, it's it. It's it. I did it. And it feels magic. That being said, like,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh likes to call that the heart of the cards, Anthony. Really, what you're doing is you're utilizing the heart of the cards.
You need to if you want to, get ahead in life and also Vegas. But Steven, okay, so I guess my question about telepathy though is it something you think that all people, if it exists, have access to, but haven't learned to condition their various channels to acknowledge? Or is it something that only some people are conditioned to experience?
I think people do like to feel special and set aside like they're the only ones capable, but I think if one human being is capable of it, all human beings would be capable of
See,
it.
I think that's usually where my brain goes, and I think that's also where like you end up with like what's his name, Trask, where like, oh, if there are people who can do it and I can't do it, I'm making Sentinels, baby, because there are no I'm not one of the X-Men,
Yeah, I mean, aside from some sort of mutation, like in X-Men, that would be the only thing that would allow that.
But
But to me, I feel like if telepathic, if future seeking or future seers, like
right,
those types of things are real, it would be like real life where yes, I cannot play baseball as well as, a
right,
professional Yankee, but I can play baseball to a degree if I try. I think there would be some people who would have more of a natural gift of telepathy, but I would think that all people would be capable. The fact that like,
that's fair. That's
you know
fair.
what I'm saying? Like,
When you said that, I want to do more research on this, but you ever read about any of the people who have like woken up and randomly could speak a new language or like different
so
languages?
I've not only that, but just people that like, well, sometimes when people get like, wake up from a coma too, or like something
Yes.
like that, and they like what you're saying, like, or they speak with an accent and they're legitimately not faking it. Like, this is how I
100%.
talk.
So I know that exists. I know that people have done it. I know there's evidence, like, searchable evidence of people who wake up who have never spoken French in their life and now they're fluent in French, right? But like that's not just like, oh, your brain's language center is now opened up and blah blah. Like there is no way because that's a thing that we created that you have to have objective like awareness of. Like you have to be taught that and learn it and
You would
experience.
have to like you would if it was like what we were joking about how the brain subconsciously takes in everything. You would have had to
Yeah,
accidentally heard every French word possible, and your
exactly.
brain took notes. And that's just
Yes. And
that
somehow,
as if you were as an American, that would just never happen, no matter
right.
how many French snuff films you've watched or whatever.
Why do you have to be snuff films?
I just wanted to make it sound dark, bro. I just wanted
It's
to.
just got to be dark. All I do is watch snuff films. That's why I ended up in this coma. What? People don't like me. But
Well, I
dude,
can say some of the most heinous shit in the French in French.
but dude, I saw. Okay, so I was wondering, like, all right, so if our brains are able to grab information from what seemingly different lives, or like, how does that I don't know how that happens, but I imagine it would be related to people who have their awareness open to whatever various channel would tell them what's on a card. Like maybe the same people who are like, now I know what this French word means are this touching on the same frequency of I know what that card's going to say. Maybe they are now they're fluent in slight futures, like they're fluent in cards. You know what I mean? They're fluent in whatever's about to happen. Because they have this new awareness for whatever reason. Like whatever it is that opened that channel up. But I don't know. I find it so fascinating. But I think what happens to me is I get frustrated and discouraged by the people who want it to be a special superpower that they have and no one else has. Like that's why anytime, and that's
Well, it's anytime any of that, I know that's what people are already doing, and anytime anything like this happens, that's like what everyone like suddenly becomes like I
yeah,
am this, and like
I
we
am
are different than you, and like it's like oh my god, you're
yes,
so annoying. We could all be just working together to figure out how this actually
yes,
works if it does,
it
but
does.
instead you want it's me,
Yeah.
I'm special.
That is always what it seems to be is like everyone wants to be the X-Man, but like they're so aggressive about it that they become the most obnoxious X-Man and
They
they're like
become the Sentinel somehow. I don't know
and
how they do it, but they do. They
well, they
figure it
definitely
out.
create the Sentinel one way or another.
Master mold. You're just walking over there being master mold. Okay, you're Nimrod. That's what you're. You're a Nimrod, and you're Nimrod. That's what
Yeah.
you've become.
Dude, so I find that stuff so frustrating because like it's anytime anything like that, like the telepathy tapes or anything comes out where it's like it's interesting. The same way I feel about like every conspiracy theory or like cryptids, anything like that, where it's like it's interesting until certain people get involved and then it's obnoxious and no
Yep.
one wants to be
Now
part of
I'm
it.
done.
Now I'm done. Like, thank you for ruining good things. You're why we can't have good things, internet. God, Stephen. Okay,
Looking
but
at you, ghost hunters. No, I
oh
was kidding.
no, but
Touch
some
my ass, bro. think the ghost touched my ass.
But people have a tendency to just like inject themselves into everything in the worst possible way, rather than studying the situation, talking about what it could possibly be, being a little skeptical but open-minded. That's interesting to me, where I'm like, oh, how could this happen? But instead, when something new comes out and everyone like fawns after, all over it for whatever reason, it's if there's any level of skepticism, it becomes like the villain, where it's like, oh, like you just don't believe, bro. You're not gifted or
You're
touched.
not in tune with the chakra
And
of
and
this.
that's always what it becomes, is like you're not as enlightened as me, so now blah, blah, blah. And it's so absurd to do that and to live with that level of like odd competition. And it's just like, do you really want to build like like, are you going to become Magneto? Is that what this is? Because that's what you're doing. You're creating situations like where this and where that and that's the other. And it's like, oh my God, it's so much more fun than you're making it, and you're building these walls where there shouldn't be walls, and it's so. Anyway, dude, I love the idea, and I guess what I'm saying is my New Year's resolution is to learn to use my inherent telepathic ability, because I'm special and I'm better than everyone else. So no, it is interesting. I am gonna listen to the telepathy tapes though, and like I'll like report back and I'll tell you like what they've discovered or if there's anything interesting about it. But I want to learn. I want to look into that stuff though. But that's something else I want to do this year. Is I'm going to read and watch more documentaries and stuff, like learn more stuff. Like I didn't last year. I basically took no time to like absorb anything that was like new, interesting information. It was all fiction or sleep. You know what I mean? Like it was just like I get like, the last couple of years, I feel like I haven't had a lot of time to actually enjoy like, oh, I'm gonna learn about like people who know French suddenly. Like I haven't been able to do that, So it's just been like coasting on whatever I've done in the past 30 whatever years, So it's cool. I'm gonna like look up interesting stuff like that, and maybe I will make a homunculus after all, Stephen. I'm gonna make a
Dude, it's so weird that you say that. I was like thinking about that. I'm like, we should make a homunculus. Like, that's what we need to do.
I'm not sure where I land on this telepathy thing. I think I get soured by the various people who want to like, just monopolize it for their, their own ridiculous reasons. And I don't get it. I don't
I
understand.
just don't like people who use things to make prop themselves up as being superior when it
I
comes
don't
to
either.
anything.
And
Like I play music and I draw. And
yeah.
I am the furthest thing from an elitist on either of those two things. And there are so many elitists in both of those
Oh
things. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I am of the when it comes to art and expression, I am as humble as I possibly can be, because first off, people that are dicks, like your art gets shredded. Like I don't want my stuff to be picked apart. But secondly, like like when it comes to things like that too, like that's expression, so really it doesn't matter. There is no like what's that guy's name from freaking Polyphia, Tim something, very talented, super crazy technical, but like, like, yes, like that's in its own way a beautiful and very amazing thing, but like, and he's not like, or they aren't like that. I'm not sure if they how what they affirm to, but Tim is not like that. you know, they don't make videos where they're like, look how much better I am than you. But the people that follow Polyphia and stuff are that elitist. I don't know. Just I can't stand people that take the smallest thing of anything and just use it to be better than other people.
Yeah, and then they become the gatekeeper rather
And
than
I theorize it's because they don't produce or do anything. I think that's like
yeah.
it's a 1-2. They feel insecure in themselves, so they have to project that or something, because like I don't get
Yeah.
it. I
It's
really don't understand it at all.
it's mostly because they're inferior non-telepathic life forms, and they just will never. No, I totally agree, dude. And it drives me, and that's what drives me crazy. Like I love it. I love it. I love all of that stuff. All the like interesting paranormal stuff. I love all of these various things that become everyone's identity. I'm just like, oh, can we just like stuff? Like, can we just like be interested and just like study things and not make it a war and like put up all these like walls and fences and fight about everything? I just don't
I
get it.
think you know what? I think this ties back to the same problem we have with other things too. I think if they just find a different way for you to make money off of social media, then
Yeah.
people wouldn't do stuff like that. Because part of it, I do think people behave like so arrogantly is to get the hate views and the love views at the same
Yep.
time. And
Yep.
it's just an unfortunate truth about social media. Nobody even has these super negative views. They just do it to get
It's so
the
frustrating.
farming, they're just farming money.
I've been struggling with that lately because, okay, dude, I saw Nosferatu and I wanted to like it, but I don't like it. Here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. It's beautiful. There are some really good performances in it. The costume and like sound, like score and everything is great. It all works. It all looks really good. It's shot wonderfully. Like it looks he's Robert Eggers is a good director as far as like making a movie look good. That being said, I don't love it. I didn't love it. I didn't enjoy it. And Steven Nosferatu had a mustache. It looked like Stalin mustache. It was a big Stalin mustache with like a Stalin mustache. You don't, if you drink blood like this, you wouldn't have a mustache, Steven. You want to know
No,
why?
the thing is, well, unless he's a flavor saver
Like,
kind of
is it
guy,
flavor
like he,
saver? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing, Nosferatu? Get out of here, Ken Orlock. Get the shave. Just shave.
you know how stupid he would look sucking blood with his bottom lip later on.
Oh, dude.
Looks so dumb. Well, you look so dumb, Nosferatu.
But okay. That being said, I get it. If people love it, I get it. It's a gorgeous movie. There are some good performances in it. Maybe it's just like the tone and everything that someone really enjoys, and they really love it, and they really are into mustaches. I get that. I'm not going to take that from them. What I do hate is when people are like, "This was the best horror movie of all time."
They overcompensate because they know it wasn't perfect, so they're like, "Nah, I'm gonna have this opinion because it's in the neutral gray area enough to where they can't really objectively prove me wrong."
Yeah. And then it's like, and then for me, I'm like, I just really didn't like. I thought that mustache was a really bad choice, and I don't care. I don't care if it's like historically accurate for the time for some people, where it was like maybe it's like, oh, nobility of his time. Like maybe there's some reason where he was like, oh, I'm gonna rationalize this. I don't care. It's fiction, and you know what you do? You err toward what is good and what looks cool and what is fun, what is interesting, what works, what is and like it's fine. It's the movie he wanted to make, and the movie that's a lot of people love and enjoy. For me, I was just like, man, this mustache ruined the whole movie for me. Like
Couldn't look past the mustache. I will say this. I took the kids to go see Sonic 3 this weekend, and
nice.
that movie did not freaking disappoint.
Dude,
If
don't
you
tell me
played,
that. I'm gonna
I'm
take
not
it.
going to say it, but if you played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, literally anything you could have hopefully asked for, you got. So, like, yes, the movie is awesome.
Dude, I'm so excited.
Jim Carrey is hilarious in it. It's a good time from start to finish. It is action packed, funny, awesome.
I love it. That's so
There's
funny.
no weird subhuman plot in this one. None of
No,
that. It's good all the way through.
awesome, dude. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to go see that. Atlas has been recovering from his sickness. Dude, he has like congestion the last
Mm.
5 days. Just
I
like,
think it's like because we all deal with it. I do think he's sick, but I do think these fronts back and forth like they mess up my allergies so bad. So when you have a cold, it just exacerbates that so much more with the
oh,
allergies on top of it. I've walked up completely clogged after already doing nasal spray twice the day before. So
oh my,
like
yeah, no,
it's
dude.
crazy. And I know I'm not sick. I know it's allergies, but it's like, geez.
But yeah, dude, like some people just ruin things. It frustrated me, and I'm trying to just I'm gonna stay positive. I'm going to not let other people change who I am as a person. Like I'm not gonna respond to them in the way that they're hoping to get me to engage in order to facilitate their growth on social media or whatever. I'm just going to just keep doing what I'm
Keep
doing.
on trucking.
Keep on trucking. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to go through with all these resolutions, and we're going to do this. And that's what we're doing this
I'm
year.
so excited to finish Deathless because then it opens the door to what's next, and that's just so exciting.
I can't freaking wait. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you have the best year possible. Let us know what you're going to be working on this year, what your resolutions are, and what you thought of the show, what you hope to see this year. Please check your emails if you backed Deathless issue 3, because I sent out all of those surveys to everyone. We want to make sure everyone gets the books because I want everyone to read these dang books.
Shirt sizes too, because I can actually start working that
Yeah,
pretty like soon and get those done. So
for sure. But Steven, what are you going to work on this week?
I'm gonna finish coloring Deathless because it is. I've done all the cameos. I'm pretty sure. Double check your cameo list, but I think all the cameos are in the
Oh,
book now. So all I gotta do is shade the things you've already flatted for me.
yeah.
And I will definitely get that done because I have tomorrow off. I'm doing breakfast at my mom's, but then the rest of the day is my oysters. So
Yes, Steven's oyster. I can't wait, dude. I'm gonna as soon as you send me those pages, I'm gonna put all of the the bubbles on them, and we'll be done. We'll be done with the book because I finished all the other stuff. I think I might have one more page to work on, like the thank you page. I have to make it.
Yep. And then while you're doing that stuff, like after I finish coloring, I'm gonna work the alternate cover and the t-shirt concept, and then
Yeah,
I think that's it, right?
yeah, that's
That's
it.
it. And that's it.
We got
And
this.
then we start working issue 4.
Yes, I can't wait. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of our colony and being here and just joining us at all. If you haven't subscribed to our show and you made it this far, first of all, thank you. That's amazing. That's like incredible that you joined us for this long. It's a longer episode. Please hit the subscribe button, comment below to let us know what you think and what you're doing this year. We really want to hear from you. Steven, what do you want to say to the people before we go?
I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into us this entire year, this entire duration, this entire existence of this podcast. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. I specifically want to give a shout out to Daly because Daly sent me the cutest Christmas card with Pokemon sticker things and a drawing, and your family is just delightful. And thank you so much for sending that to me and my family these holidays. I genuinely appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really
I haven't been on Twitter, and I wanted to acknowledge it here. I've been like ixnay on the social media so
but yeah, thank you for to everyone who's been a part of this and like who continues to be a part of this. Let us know if we're slipping next year, and if I start seeming like negative or I'm getting down.
Everything's slipping now that your savior's as still as the grave. You're beginning to fear me. But that movie's great, or that show, or that.
But all right, but thank you all for watching. Until next time, I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. See you next week.
Boom, 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 boom.
Nice.
Happy New Year. So I guess we're going to one of Tina's clients. She took our photos that we did. She did photos for us one time, but I guess she's just having a little she has like a young family, so it's going to be like a kid New Year's Eve thing.
Just like a 7-year-old grandma, just 7-year-old grandma Steven, just one of those like
I'm a baby grandma.
Baby grandma. Your candy. She's so young, she's not allowed to have hard candy, but it's like a conflict for her. She's like,
could choke. It's like perfect choking size, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, Grandma. You can't have that Werther's original.
I know you crave it, but
that Benjamin Button grandma situation. So, Steven, last night I told I told KT when I woke up,